And we're live. Sunday Service episode number 39. We're almost to episode number 40. Cannonier versus Rodriguez went down last night. What a main event for an Apex card. I couldn't believe that had to be in the Apex. Should never have Gregory Rodriguez at the Apex. Okay, that dude comes to brawl every single time, and he's going to bring you an exciting fight. He nearly put out Cannonier in round one. I couldn't believe that Cannonier went down twice at 41 years of age and was still willing to get back up to his feet, take the shots, and keep moving forward. Props to Cannonier for getting that one done. Overall, the card was pretty decent. You wish you'll live bet Cannonier. I actually did live bet Cannonier after round one, maybe round two. I forget. I got him at like minus 190. Saw Gregory fading. He knocked him down twice. He's not going to knock him down again. So, Cannonier rallied up. Got to give it to him. Props to him. Co-main event. Yusuf Zalal, Calvin Kattar. A lot of people were pissed off at Yusuf Zalal, which I can kind of see why, but at the end of the day, that's how the dude fights. It's how he's always fought. And Calvin Kattar, I'm pissed off about him. I went on my rant about Calvin Kattar. Maybe I'll get on another rant because it seems like it happens every single week, maybe even twice a week or 3 times a week, where we get a fighter that just the game plan is just not there. Like, how am I? I'm a guy that's sitting here in my desk chair watching film on UFC Fight Pass, and I could tell you a better game plan than what Calvin Kattar had. There's a problem there. And I don't really think it was his coaching. Because apparently from what the commentators were saying, his coaching was telling him the right things. Like, you got to go. You got to be in his face. You have to throw 300 punches this round. But he just didn't do it. Just didn't do it. Calvin Kattar can suck one, bro. He can go over to the GFL. Yusuf Zalal called him a Hall of Famer. I don't know about that. But either way, he is still a veteran of the game, and he lost to an unranked guy who was cut by the UFC before. So there's that. JB, what's going on, brother? Run up the likes. Yes, please. If you're in the live, run up the likes for me. Calvin Kattar to the GFL. I like that. It was a beautiful sweep of night until the Gregory fight. Dang. So you had all your predictions correct until the main event. How many dogs do we have come through? 3? We had Petrosky, Sadikov, and Cannonier. And Angela and Ketlin was pretty close. It was a pick 'em. So 3 dogs out of 12 fights? A lot of chalk did come through. A lot of big favorites. Estevan was minus 500. Walker minus 300. Cavalcanti like minus 800. Bonfim minus 200 something. Delgado minus 500 something. Yeah, I mean, some of those Apex cards, you get a lot of big favorites. So it's kind of, I don't want to say easy to hit all of them, but a couple dogs always come through. Cannonier, the dog of the night, man. He was the dog of the night. Yusuf chose the wrong sport. He was meant to be a track runner. Probably could be. If there was a sport in track where you ran backwards, Yusuf Zalal might take the cake. He might be an Olympic champ. Lance, feel for Morales, man? Yeah, I feel for him too. But I also don't feel for him because, bro, you're winning all the grappling exchanges in round 2. Why are you striking with him in round 3? Why are you striking with him in round 3? And then why does it take till 15 seconds in the fight for you to try to get his back and sink in a choke? This is another thing. What are we doing here? After round 1, if you're Vince Morales, it's pretty clear you're at a speed disadvantage on the feet. And then we get into round 2 and you're having success in these scrambles. And Elijah Smith, he's surviving a lot of these scrambles. But then in round 3, wouldn't you think I should probably do what I did in round 2 and not what I did in round 1? Because it was a close round in round 1, but Smith edged it. Vince Morales was wearing the damage a lot worse than Elijah Smith was. So Smith won round 1. Round 2 was Vince Morales. wouldn't you think to like implement what you did in round 2 into round 3 so you can win the fight? You just was content to stand and strike with him for too much in round 3. That's why he lost. He's a track star. Robocop fell like a sack of potatoes after that elbow. Yeah. And dude, that was the sad part. After round 3, like if there was 20 more seconds in round 3, that fight probably could have been finished by Jared Cannonier because he was starting to land those big shots on the ground on Robocop. And the way he got up after round 3, I'm like, this dude is brutally concussed. And I'm like, Gilbert, we might want to throw in the towel. Like if he goes back out there in rounds 4 and 5 and doesn't go down and just takes a bunch of damage, that's a life-altering beating. Because he had nothing left in the gas tank. He had just got brutally concussed with that elbow. I'm like, bro, we might want to throw in the towel, like for Gregory's health and safety. But he goes out there in round 4 and gets knocked out in what was it, like 20 seconds? So it was good that he went down in round 4 because he wasn't going to rally to win that fight. He had nothing left in the gas tank. His mind was, he probably didn't know what day it was. Like he was brutally concussed. Walker by sub was guaranteed a hit. Dude, so many people on the live stream on Friday had that Walker sub in their parlays. And there was 2 parlays that hit. And we're working on getting those clipped up to post. And I want to connect with the guys that hit and make sure we get them back on next week for Friday's live stream on the Long Shots live show, because 2 guys hit and they actually were pretty solid odds, like obviously over plus 1,000. So it was good. Walker sub was as easy as it gets, man. 50-1 on that heel hook. I said it was a donation, but my God, it was not a donation. Lazy in the clinch. Yeah. Walker versus Shamil is the fight. I'd be down. Vince Morales has negative head movement. That is facts. He's just a little bit older, a little bit too slow. Anakin, what's up with the hate on Zalal? Aljo didn't even finish Kattar either, and he doesn't get any slack. I'm not really hating on Zalal, but a lot of people are. I just understand that's how he fights. That's it. I needed Robocop by KO to cash plus 1,700 parlay. Would have put me up more on the week. Dang, left lane. Left lane, I'm pretty sure you gave a parlay on the show, I think, too. If you would have swapped it out with Cannonier KO, it would have been even better. Is Nazim Sajikov the dark horse of lightweight? Dude, I've been saying this. Nazim he's a real beast, man. Nazim is built different. Like when he gets hit in a fight, nothing phases that guy. Like you could clip him with the biggest shots. It's like it didn't even hit him. Doesn't get phased by anything. Stays calm. Kind of builds into the fight. He's kind of a slow starter. And then when he hits you, he just seems to hurt guys. Whether he cuts them, breaks their bones, or knocks them down, it just hurts guys. Like he was down on the scorecards to Evan Elder, landed a knee on Evan Elder, cut him open. Fight's over, had to be stopped because you could see the bone in his eyebrow. And then Borshev, that fight with Borshev, he knocked him down like twice. Had him beat to a pulp. And then the head kick or the question mark kick that he landed on Ishmael Bonfim, dude, like he probably broke his orbital. Like Nazim is a beast. Always been a big Nazim guy. He cashed for me as an underdog there. I love watching his fights too because they're very entertaining. I wish he was more active. I told Danny Rubenstein, get that man active, bro. I love watching him fight. Felt Robocop was up 2-1 till that point. Yeah, I think he was. I think he was going to win the 3rd round until he got hit with that elbow. Aljo powerbombed him like Batista. Yeah, he did. He died for you. That's all the Sunday service we need. Thanks. You're welcome. Nazim, Dr. Stoppage Sadikov. Yeah, he is. I mean, dude, he's hurting dudes out there, man. He's hurting dudes. New England cartel needs to clean house and start over. That's facts. The reality of it is they were just really never that good. The New England cartel was just never that good. Whoever sees this comment, just know Jesus Christ is calling you to him. Please repent of your sins and turn to him before it's too late. He loves you. Am I getting these because like the thing says Sunday service? Are these bots? I think Cejudo cashes as a dog. Yeah, he's on a 2-fight losing streak, but lost to Merab and Aljo. I agree with that, but I also don't know, because just because you lose to like two of the best guys doesn't mean you're gonna beat a guy in your next fight. Those losses are put into perspective, but you also have to think about he's 38 with a style that isn't exactly 2025-esque. His last win was in like 2020. Nazim is the dog of the night. Not by the odds, but maybe by the performance. Maybe not. Why were so many people on Rodolfo? Probably because they like to fade Petrosky, because he's been knocked out by a hip bone and he doesn't really do anything too flashy. He's won his last 2 fights by decision. And they see Rodolfo's got all these BJJ accolades, bunch of wins by submission. But at the end of the day, the dude's wins in the UFC really aren't good. So that's why I stayed off Rodolfo and played that Petrosky decision line. How the fuck did Hill win? She ruined the parlay. I kind of agree. I thought Souza should have won, but, you know, it's a split decision. Angela Hill could go either way. That's how it plays out. Cejudo is going to be remembered more as a joke than a great champ. A lot of it is his own doing. Dude, that's part of why the freaking title of the Sunday service is Henry Cejudo pulling a Ryan Garcia, because I don't know if anybody else saw this. I might have to pull it up on the live stream. But Henry Cejudo was smoking in an interview. Like, what is going on? I got to pull this up, bro. I reposted it. Media. No, posts. There we go. I'm going to share my screen. Look at this, bro.
And Song's just another name on the list. I don't know if I'm even in a place to ask, but
What the fuck is going on here? This interview wasn't long ago. Henry Cejudo fights this Saturday.
can you give me a sneak peek at this list? Some other names on there?
Just puffing clouds on an interview. What are we doing?
We're gonna start off with O'Methley.
Trying to make jokes, trying to make cringe jokes. O'Methley. He's pulling like a Colby Covington, Ryan Garcia, like trying to give these fighters a nickname, like a cringy nickname. O'Methley.
O'Methley, the guy right that way, this one?
Yeah, we're gonna start off with O'Methley. We're gonna end with Marat. You know, but honestly, bro, anybody that's ahead of me or in front of me, like you know, Jake, like this is I'm going for it, dude. Like, you know,
He's going for it. Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing out here, Henry? He's puffing clouds on an interview. He's trying to do the Colby Covington thing with like the weird nicknames, O'Methley and Marat. Like, I don't know, man. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Once Walker was being announced and he did that wrestling thrust towards King Kong, knew he was getting sub. Facts. Next 3 of UFC events are all fire. Seattle card got rebuilt. Cop versus Almabayev fight card is underrated, and 313 is straight fire. What do you think? I haven't looked too much at the fight night with Cop and Almabayev, but 313 is solid. Seattle card, a lot of cancellations. It wasn't as good as it once was, but yeah, it was fights on a Saturday. I'm about it. Gave the cycle was Walker sub, Ishmael Bonfim decision, Robocop KO, and I gave you the KO parlay, Delgado, Shabazian, and Robocop. Ooh, dude. I mean, the many men parlay should have just parlayed them all round 1. It was Walter Walker, Jose Delgado, and Shabazian. A round 1 finish parlay probably would have paid crazy, not crazy, but like pretty solid money. Allen versus Fluffy will be closer than the odds have it, in my opinion. Yes and no. because yes, being Brendan Allen could have some grappling success if he can find the right scrambles, but also no, because like if Fluffy starts to take over, you're never gonna claw your way back against Fluffy. So it could be a blowout from Fluffy. Nazim aimbotted that kick. He was getting smoked till that point. Dude, the aimbot on a question mark kick. That's funny as fuck. Evan Shabazian got back on track, but it's still a hype job. He couldn't become a decent contender, and he was hyped to become the next great champ. Yeah, that's been a thing for a while, brother. He fought Dylan Budka. Like, Dylan Budka should have never been in the UFC. How have I been? I've been good, brother. What's up, Hobknocker? Zalal versus Arnold Allen. I think Allen kills him, though. I think Allen would beat him, but I don't know if he would kill him. It would be competitive. UFC got money in Edmond. They want him to win to validate his pay. Well, maybe. They're probably paying him some decent money. And they're like, you got to put on like a spectacular KO to earn this money. So they give him Dylan Budka. Cody in the IG chat. What's up, brother? IG chat doesn't get read on screen. If you want to jump in the YouTube chat, there's a link on my story. Jump on the link on my story, and you can join the YouTube chat and get it right on screen. Budka has background wrestling and decided not to wrestle versus Edmund. Yeah, exactly. Guys are dumb, dude. Wemby All-Star Game MVP. I'm not watching it. Sorry, brother. If you pick your Cejudo, you're smoking whatever he was smoking on there. God bless you as well. This card might have less than 10 fights. Yeah. Another one just got canceled today. Billy Ray Golf versus Adam Fugit. That sucks. I was looking forward to seeing that. Stop betting winners on pick'em women's MMA fights. Destined to be mad about decisions. That's facts, dude. That was one that I just knew. I just knew it was going to be a close and competitive fight, and it was pretty much a pick'em. So I'm like, I don't really see how there's any type of, I mean, it's kind of a coin flip, you know, at minus 115, you know? So I just laid off of that one. Triple Cringe is fighting because he needs the check. He said it before. He probably does need the check. I'm not going to lie. Cejudo really thought he was so much better than he was. He's almost as bad as McGregor. Calling the heel hook was legendary. If Hard Rock offered it, I would have sprinkled for me. Hope you tell Maddie. Ryan, even though I said it was a donation, if I wanted to play it, I couldn't, because BetMGM is the only place that you could really get it, and you can't use that in Florida. I think it's only in like Vegas. So yeah, I couldn't do it. He probably is trolling. Marat, the guy that carried him like child. Exactly. What are you going for right now, bro? What are you going for? Henry beating Song would be horrible for bantamweight. Facts. February 22nd. Anthony Hernandez by decision. Ibo Aslan by TKO. Nursultan Rusaboyev by sub. He's already locking in the cycle. Save that for the long shot show on Friday, brother. Him and Usman rub me the wrong way. Always just talking shit about their own division, but not stay fighting. Yeah. Their podcast is decent, but like, it seems like they've become podcasters. You know, Usman is pretty much just a podcaster right now. Not out there fighting. Doesn't look like he's training for a fight. Just out here podcasting. Hernandez going to murk Jared by cardio. Okay. Is Zalal putting himself in the Bilal Mozart category of a guy who's going to have a long road to getting big fights because of his approach to fights? Possibly. But as long as he keeps winning, eventually he'll get there, because Bilal did. Mozart will be there. But he's got a style that wins fights. It's probably not the most exciting style. But we also can't forget he finished his last 3 fights by submission. Like, Calvin is a tough guy. Like, he's tough to hit hard and like knock down. Like, Yusuf knocked down Jack Shore with that knee his last fight and then submitted him. And it was pretty clear, like, Zalal just felt like he could dance around him and win. And he shot some takedowns, but they were kind of like half-hearted. They weren't really committed to it. So, yeah, I mean, he's not going to have the easiest path because his style is not super fan-friendly, but he does have finishes, so we can't forget that. Super underrated fight coming up is Ribovics versus Hackpress. I did not see that. That is a sick fight. I think Ribovics takes it, dude. I love Esteban Ribovics. That dude's a dog. Just really clean boxing, granite chin, and just goes for it. I love those type of fighters, man. Yeah, rip to the DFS plays, man. 1-1 on all 4 slips. It's tough. Fluffy already beat Allen. Yeah, I'll beat him again, probably. I did score the 4-man on Prize Picks. I was the one asking you for the 4th man, for a 4th man on Discord. Oh, that's good. Good that you scored it. Are you in the know with the 314, 315, 316, and 317 news? Crazy stuff. I am not in the know. But 314 needs to get announced. Like, what are they waiting for with 314? Because apparently Volk just posted on his YouTube that he's in training camp. We're less than 2 months away from UFC 314. Where's the announcement, Dana? Where is it? Because it's in Miami, and I want to go to that, and I want to get tickets, but I also want to know who's going to be the main event. But so let's hear it. 315 is what? Montreal, Canada. 316, don't know. Cardio been winning main events lately. Yeah, I think I said it in my breakdown. I was like, it's going to come down to durability and cardio. And right now, I just don't know who's better. So I actually didn't bet on it. But it turns out Cannonier's durability was good enough, and his cardio was better. Fluffy's grappling is underrated. He's subbed Adolfo. Don't think Allen is going to have much success. I kind of agree. Did you not see Esteban put the hooks in? What? Not put the hooks in. What was that about? Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, bro. It looked like very clearly he should have put the hooks in, took the back, and looked for a choke. Cejudo's a lock. Don't overthink it. Well, I didn't really think about it much, so. And I still see him losing. Should Zalal be getting so much hate for that performance, or should Kattar be for being so one-dimensional and going for a takedown or throwing leg kicks? I don't know, bro. I think you can blame them both. Fuck them. This card is on par with 312. Which card? UFC Seattle? I would say no. Even though UFC 312 was not good, UFC Seattle was not that good, dude. Bro, if Calvin is down 2-0 and you need him to win by points, even if he gets a 10-8, it'll be a draw and you lose your bet. You should have known you lost after round 2. I did know after round 2 that we lost, brother. I did. I knew that. But then I see him go out in round 3 and actually start to force the issue, put the pressure on, cut him off, and throw. And I'm like, bro, why didn't you do that in the first 10 minutes of the fight? I already knew it was cooked. But, you look back on it, I'm sure Kattar will be kicking himself. I've seen that you like DDP as an underdog versus Hamza. How do you think that fight plays out? I've laid this out many times, brother. Hamzat's going to take him down. DDP's going to get put in some bad positions. Going to have to fight off some chokes. And then round 2 starts. And DDP fights off the back foot, shucks a takedown, lands some big shots, gets the retard blitz going. Hamzat starts to look a little bit worried. We get into round 3. Hamzat shoots another takedown, gets it. DDP gets right back up. Then he starts to put the pace on. We get into round 4. Hamzat's really starting to get worried, starting to look gassed. DDP starts putting the pressure on. We get into round 5. Both guys are tired. DDP's the one pushing it through, and it's DDP by decision, bro. You think Fluffy beats DDP? Wow. Interesting. Where do I stay in Florida? Boca Raton, brother. I was at UFC Tampa. And we had floor tickets But then we got invited to the Hard Rock Suite. And the floor tickets, never get floor tickets, man. Like, it's a decent atmosphere, like on the ground. And when I say floor, I mean like you're literally on the floor. I've had them before. We were on the floor at UFC Tampa. The view is just not good. And you get really crammed in there sometimes. And I just hate being crammed in an arena. I just don't like it. So then we got invited to the Hard Rock Suite, went up there. And I would much rather stay in a suite or in a lounge than be in the seats. So I like to move around, and the view on the floor is just not good. We destined for 2 boring decisions in the main and co-main event. I don't think they'll be boring, bro. Fluffy Hernandez fight is never boring. And the main event will probably be decent. Thoughts on Jalen Turner versus Baja Mondays? Looking forward to that. Yeah, dude. I think, 2 absolute giants. I think Baja Mondays could take that one. He's solid. Islam versus Chimaev. What do you think about this matchup? Chimaev would be too big, but again, the gas tank. Islam does slow down too, though. But Chimaev's a 185er. Islam's a 155er, bro. Probably take Chimaev. What's your thoughts on Justin versus Dan? Right now, I'm leaning towards Dan Hooker, just because I think Gaethje, never been a huge Gaethje believer, but he could knock anybody out. And that the damage he took from Max was like not good. But Dan's a guy that'll stand in front of you. So he'll definitely give Justin a shot. No doubt about it. 314 is Volk versus Lopez for the undisputed belt. Ilya is moving up and being forced to vacate. Whoa. That could be breaking news from Left Lane MMA. I would love to hear the source, but that is pretty nuts. Volk versus Lopez for the undisputed belt. So Ilya, if that's the case, then we got to look. Boys, we got to look. We got to look at the odds. There is, the only source here is MMA. UFC end of year title holders. Oh, they don't even offer it. They don't even have featherweight on here. They probably know something we don't. I was going to look and try to see who the end of year title holders would be for featherweight, and they don't have it available right now. But if that is true, where Ilya's vacating and moving up to 155, and we get Volk versus Lopez for the undisputed 145 belt, Diego Lopez might be champ, boys. Diego Lopez might be champ. I still think they want Ilya to fight Islam, and he said, fuck that. Yeah, I think that's probably what they wanted, but we'll see. It's Volk versus Topuria. Topuria said lightweight is happening, just not yet. I'm hearing a lot of different stuff here. One thing we can probably count on is that it will contain a featherweight fighter. Whether that featherweight is Ilya Topuria moving up to 155, or it is the undisputed belt between Volk versus Topuria, or the undisputed belt versus Volk versus Lopez. It's probably going to contain a featherweight fighter, which is cool. I like that. All right, I'm going to cut the IG live. If you're in the IG live, come on over to the YouTube live. There's a link on my story. Peace. We got rid of the IG. Goodbye. Should Jarrett fight the winner of Allen versus Fluffy? I think so. That's a good matchup. Now that they are permanently going back to OG gloves, does that change your perspective on a lot of fights? Not entirely. No, not entirely. Not much. Because I don't even know what they've been using for the past 5 fight cards. Like, they were supposed to do the new gloves for the fight nights and the OG gloves for the pay-per-views. But I don't even know what they've been doing. Like, it's just very weird. But the whole glove thing is just crazy. Crazy that I actually had like some influence in that. No idea how I had influence on that, me being a guy that literally just makes videos and bets on sports, and I'm like, yo, these new gloves are fucking not allowing us any knockouts because every knockout prop I've ever placed over the past 6 months just doesn't hit because they take insane amount of damage and don't go down. So I did the research, I did the data, sent it to some people, and then boom, we get the announcement that they're going back to the OG gloves. And I'm like, holy shit, I actually had some influence on this. What world are we living in? What world are we living in where I had some influence on the UFC gloves? Very, very weird. Kind of a surreal moment. One that I'll look back on in my career, in my long career as a sports bettor, as a UFC fan, as a content creator, that I will look back on and be like, wow, I'm the reason we got knockouts again. So every knockout you see moving on, you can thank me for that. Last year's pay-per-views were fire. This year they're looking underwhelming. 311 was pretty sick, dude. We've only had 2. So geez, so I mean a lot of fans out there. Just we've had 2 pay-per-views so far. 311 was sick. Like really good card. 312 obviously wasn't like super stacked, but I mean, it's in Australia. What do you expect? Do you agree with the odds of Carlos Ulberg versus Jan Blachowicz? Sure, Jan is older, but he took Shama to a split decision. What are the odds? Oh, Jan is plus 235. I mean, Jan is old and coming off of some injuries, man. It's tough. It's tough. I would probably put Jan at like plus 200, honestly. DDP's team is smart. They'll be sleeping in a tub of baby oil the night before the Hamzat fight. Facts, dude. Grease that man up. Am I a trust fund guy? How did I get rich? I'm not rich, for one. I just definitely not rich. Definitely did not have a trust fund. I just started working for myself when I was 19 and work a lot. A lot. So this past 6 years, all I've done is put all of my time and effort into my businesses. So yeah, but still not rich. Not rich whatsoever. I can tell you that. I would tell you when I started, 100K a year felt like I was making really good money, but like inflation and stuff, you get a lot more responsibilities. 100K a year just doesn't feel like much. So yeah, rich to me would be like multiple millions. That ain't me. That ain't me. Impression for Yuri. I can't do a Yuri impression. I was thinking about a Marab impression today. Aljo, Aljo, come over here. Aljo. What a shame. Losing Steve versus Edison. Yeah, that would have been sick. I would have loved to see that fight. Dude, Steve Garcia is one of my favorite dudes. Absolutely vicious. I'm pissed that fight got canceled. Edson, I don't know why that dude pulled out, but I wouldn't be wanting to fight Steve Garcia. I can tell you that. Why do I not live bet? Hey, Jive, I cashed 3 dogs live on Saturday. Petrosky, Cannonier, and Sadikov. I do live bet, but I don't like put it out there because like, what is that going to do? You know, you have 60 seconds to put in a live bet realistically. Like I'll just live bet for myself. I can't really like go tell people to live bet it because the time that they see it, they're not going to be able to live bet it as well. So I do live bet. I do love to live bet because there's a lot of good live betting opportunities, but not something that I can really share to people. There's just not enough time. Can Ankalaev KO Alex Pereira? Sure he could, but I highly doubt it. Morales by sub. Dude, that was a brutal beat. Brutal. I pulled my phone out 3 times to start recording. That's the jinx. If Hooker were to win, Justin, who would you match him up with? Who, Hooker? I mean, You could do Hooker and Charles Oliveira next. That would be sick. That'd be actually amazing. If Hooker beats Justin Gaethje, do Charles Oliveira versus Dan Hooker. What do you think about this Mechanico guy making 185 on short notice? He was fighting at 205 in his last fight, and Ruzi was at 170. Dude, I'm interested to hear your opinion on that when we talk later in the week on your show, JB, because I actually think the guy has a decent chance to pull it off. Like, I'm not a big Ruziboyev guy, and Mechanico is an MMA Labs guy, and I actually like a lot of stuff that I've seen from him on tape. But he is 34, and he's 6 foot. He is built at 185, but you just kind of have to watch out for that right hand from Ruziboyev. But I want to hear your thoughts when we talk later. I doubt that 314 rumor is true. If Ilya is going to go up in weight, UFC is going to let him keep the belt so they could sell on champ versus champ. Yeah, that's definitely most likely. Volk doesn't deserve it. I think Romanov will win the PFL tournament. Hot take. No, I actually don't. I think Goltsov would beat Alexander Romanov pretty easily. How would it be if Aspinall smokes John? It would be very cool. I would love that. Think logically. If Ilya doesn't move up, who's fighting for the belt? They aren't giving it to Arman, and Oliveira is fighting Holloway. That's basically done. Yeah, that is realistic. I guess they could do Volk versus Diego interim belt. Let Ilya keep the belt so that he does have the chance to do champ jam. Bovada line error this weekend. Plus 550 on Cavalcanti and over 1.5, supposed to be minus 550. Jaw dropped when I saw that slap max bet. Even more surprised when it paid. Dude, I love some of those line errors, man. Plus 550 on Cavalcanti and the over 1.5. That is the freest money you will ever see in your life, Jordan. You should have took out a fucking loan for that, dude. Jordan, I literally replied on your Reddit post. Interesting. What's up, Kevin? You see Burns beating Morales. I feel like it's passing the torch. Wouldn't want Burns to catch a third L in a row. I mean, it's a 3-rounder. It will be a 3-rounder, right? I don't think Gilbert's completely out of it. But Morales is nice. He's really nice. Solid jab. Strong hips. Yeah, it's tough. Thoughts on Bilal Shavkat? Bilal by decision. Remember the name. An Indian MMA fighter is going to fight in Tough. Do you know about this? If yes, what are your thoughts? I did not know about that, but I love it. Give us some more Indians, bro. Please. Trust me with the news that's coming. The pay-per-view ain't going to be underwhelming. Wow. I remember Tim and Sean read your tweet about Mario. Hypocrites. Facts. Fuck those guys, dude. Literal complete hypocrites. Complete hypocrites. They're talking about Marab holding on to him and kneeing him in the thigh. And then Mario Batista, a guy that they trained with before, goes out there, holds Jose Aldo, knees him in the thigh, wins the fight. And I make a tweet about how Mario Batista is losing fans even though he won the fight, because it's not about if you win the fight. It's how you make the fans feel. And the fans were pissed because it wasn't much of a fight, and he just held on to a legend to win a decision by kneeing him in the thigh. And they got all butthurt. Oh, these trolls on Twitter. Bro, come on now. Tail Cavalcanti, decision, Walker sub, and Edmund KO from the Long Shot Live. That was the play of the night right there, bro. Think Imavov could beat Cumshot? I think he probably could. I genuinely believe the only way Ilya loses in 155 or 145 is wrestle fucked and gassed by Movzar or getting chinned by Jean Silva. He beats everyone else at lightweight and featherweight. Yeah, I agree. You either got to wrestle fuck him, which is going to be very hard to do because Ilya is a really good wrestler, or you got to chin him. So, to me, the only guys that could beat him at 145 are Movzar via WrestleFuck or Diego Lopez by first round chinning. That's it. Hell yeah, Kyle. Are you and Maddie Betts both Jewish? I am not Jewish. I do not know about Maddie Betts, but there's not an ounce of Jew in me. I don't believe. So, there you go. Are those shirts available for purchase that you made? They are. I got to set up the website, though. They're literally sitting in a box right there. I got 100 shirts, very limited stock. Eventually, when I get around to it, I got to make a website so you can buy them and I can get your information so that I can ship them to you. 311 was shit, bro. Moicano main event, stop it. Dude, it was good. It was really good. You had Moicano and Islam, Umar and Marab, Hill and Prohashka. Like, they were good fights. Peyton Talbot getting wrestle fucked. They got my Billy Cheeks up there. I will be after this week. I have the ability to become an honorary Jew via JB this week when I go on a show. Shavkat is out for a year. That's all I say. Someone else is getting the title shot. That would be sick. That would be sick. Give it to JDM, boys. Give it to JDM after he beats Leon Edwards, and I can cash my ticket. Seem like industry plants, but you're cool, though. I don't know what industry would want to plant me, brother. I would definitely not be big enough. If I was bigger, if I had like 1 million followers, maybe you could say I was an industry plant. But I only have like 100K followers. Like, it's not that much when you think about how many people use social media. If I was an industry plant, I'd probably have millions of followers. But kind of a backhanded compliment. So thanks, Big Donut. What up? And coming prospects should I look out for? Delgado from last card. The dude's fucking nasty. Jacoby Smith from the Contender Series. Abdul Malik fights this week. Contender Series guy. Those are like the best from the Contender Series. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple, but I'd have to go back and look. I've seen your channel. I'm not buying what you're selling, buddy. It's all good, bro. Just know I had info on Hamza pulling out against Whitaker back at Saudi, Yuri versus Alex 2, and Lopez versus Ortega for UFC 303. Pantoja Asakura I knew about in June. Wonder Boy versus Buckley. All right, this dude's got the info, I guess. DDP isn't not used to reckless constant takedowns. I think Hamza might actually get the 1 or 2 sub versus DDP. In all reality, it's a good live betting spot to take DDP after round 1 or 2. Mechanical dog play. I'll have to look into it. Ruzi is a fraud. He's a fraud. All he has is a right hand and a right uppercut. Other than that, he's got nothing. Like, if you can avoid that, you could beat him. Armor versus Oliveira 5-round fight. I'm not super interested, to be honest. How would a hypothetical Volk versus Olives fight when both were champs go? Oliveira. How does somebody seem like an industry plant? Oh, I'm pretty sure they're just 2 regular people who talk fights. Yeah. You'll troll when they announced Bilal versus Shavkat, some women's MMA co-main event for Montreal pay-per-view. What do you think of Petrosky's call-out? Personally, I think he beats Bo. I think he would give Bo a decent fight. I really do. I really don't think Bo Nickel is all that, bro. I really don't. Eventually the fade is going to pay off. Eventually it will. Lopez versus Volk is the most set thing that's signed. Ilya is either fighting Islam, or if Islam wants to move up, they're making him vacate, and we'll do Oliveira versus Ilya for the belt. They do Ilya versus Oliveira for the belt? That would be disgusting, bro. It would be disgusting. Mario Batista versus Teixeira. If either Ilya or Islam move up, they're being made to vacate. Yeah. Well, maybe. But why would they vacate? Like, they want to make it a double champ type of fight, like champ at 155. In all reality, they probably won't vacate. They'll probably just do an interim belt. Run for office in Texas, bro, so sportsbook can be legal here. Well, that's why you use Bet Online or Wager Attack, brother. I'm going to tell you this, brother. I ain't bald, but I do have a large forehead. Okay? Moicano turned Islam into a wrestler. Facts, dude. Thoughts on Cejudo? You dong all day. Kind of based. I don't know. We got all these hypotheticals on what's going on with Ilya and Islam, bro. What's your thoughts on who should Patty fight next? I seen he was taking shots at Dustin. What a clown. Fuck, dude. Fuck. Somebody had to ask me about this. I have some information on who Patty is fighting next, but I can't say. So, sorry, boys. Prospects all Jal needs to know is Shamil. What the fuck? Who you picking for UFC 313 main event? Powhatan, brother. What's next for Yusuf, Zalal, Sterling, Bryce, Murphy? What do you think? I think you could do Yusuf, Zalal, and Arnold Allen. But what's Arnold Allen ranked? Maybe that's too far. Why do I feel like Arnold's like higher than I thought he was? Okay, no, he's 7. That's not bad. Fuck it. Give him Aljo, bro. Fuck it. Give him fucking Aljo. Because Lerone is fighting Josh Emmett. You could do Arnold Allen. I mean, Calvin Kattar's ranked number 10. Yeah, that's not bad. You could do an Arnold Allen. What's the most I've won on a UFC bet? I've answered this before, but DDP submitting Adesanya, 13K. Would have been more if he got it done in the 3rd round, but he got it done in the 4th. Do you know about a sport called cricket? Because America played the last Cricket World Cup and they got some good wins. I do know what cricket is. Very interesting game. Don't really understand it too much, but very interesting. Give me Walter Walker versus Gaziev. Facts. What's your beef with Damon Jackson? Damon Jackson got butthurt when I made a video of him getting knocked out. Like all the times he's been knocked out, which is like 4 times, and they're all just brutal knockouts. Like the dude falls in the weirdest ways. So I made a video on that. I don't think it went like super viral. I think maybe like 500,000 views or something like that. And he came across it. He was a little bit butthurt, made some comments, and was pretty much just like calling me like a loser. And I was like, okay. But we squashed it. Because I bet on him. I bet on the motherfucker in his last fight. I bet on the motherfucker, and I had him to go over 1.5 takedowns. The dude gets choked out on his first takedown attempt. I'm like, that motherfucker just spited me. I swear to you. He shot that takedown, got guillotined, and was like, it's okay because I lost Hijab money. What's your thoughts on Robert Valentin from Tough versus Torres Finney from Contender Series? That's an interesting fight. But Valentin did just kind of get fucked on the ground. So Torres Finney could do that. But he's just so short. Do you see Cop winning his next fight? Probably. Because he is really good at stuffing takedowns. But the thing is, when he's very like cautious about stuffing takedowns, he doesn't do a lot of action. He's just not super active. Because they don't want to be doing interim titles in 2 divisions. Blall looks like the taco from Sausage Party. Was it the taco? I don't think it was the taco. Gamrot and Patty. Patty versus Money Moicano 314. I know you know. Please tell me Patty isn't DP's retirement. Dustin should fight Max. Moicano leaked it. Patty versus Gamrot. I can tell you right now, it's not Moicano. Moicano's not fighting him. I like that fight. You don't want Charles to get Brazilian chin spun. Personally, I think it's Saint Denis, but you're making me think wild now. Don't you train with Dustin's boxing coach? It's not Dustin. Dustin's not going to be fighting. He already came out and said, Dustin said he's not going to fight, a younger guy. He's only going to fight a legend. So he's not fighting Dustin. He's not fighting Saint Denis. Hot take, Patty subs Dustin. That would be nuts, but we will never see it. Peyton Talbot and Sam Frank, a cute couple? Who the fuck is that? How was Chepe's opening odds versus Ricardo Hamush minus 180? I think this is a lock. You got to put it on it now. I don't think he's minus 180, bro. I think he's much higher than that now. Chepe is good. I like Chepe. It's made me a lot of money. Let me go look at that. What is that? Yeah, he's minus 260 now, which honestly still is pretty solid. What is your best sweat win and worst sweat loss? Off the top, I'd have to look back because there's been some bad losses, like just the stupidest shit. And it's weird that my mind goes to the worst sweat loss just because, like, those are the ones that hurt. Best sweat win? I don't even know, bro. I'd have to really think about it. It's probably in my videos somewhere. Who do you think headlines 314? Apparently, it's Volk versus Diego Lopez. What Left Lane MMA says. I think Cejudo easily wins. I doubt it. What's your take on Peyton Talbot smashing Frank Ocean? Very, very weird. I don't understand what's going on there. We got to see Peyton Talbot fighting Pride Month, I guess. Frank Ocean changed that, man, dude. I don't know what's going on. Very weird, man. Think Gamrot can make it to the belt? No. He was a pita and sausage party. Tacos aren't. Gamrot, then bingo. Possibly. But maybe not. Do you have any advice for somebody that wants to be a professional MMA bettor like you? Bankroll management. Don't force bets. That's what I would tell anybody. So then possibly leave us with Patty versus Gamrot or Patty versus Chandler. If I had to look at the rankings, what are the rankings? It's somebody in the top 10. I'll tell you that. It's somebody in the top 10. Somebody in the top 10, but obviously not Armin, not Charles, not Gaethje, not Poirier, not Max Holloway. There you go. They should just come back to fight Dustin since he's out of nowhere trying to play matchmaker. They've both wanted this fight forever. I don't know, but I am worried about Alex Pereira. I'm a little bit just for his takedown defense, but you bet on hockey at all now. How would Lopez versus Volk go? Lopez KO? I could see it. I could see a Lopez KO, bro. Peyton Talbot is 100% a bottom guy. All right. I think that's where we got to cut it, boys. We're getting into Peyton Talbot's sexuality. on a live stream. I think that's where we cut it. Appreciate y'all for joining. Hopefully I didn't just screw myself talking about Patty's next fight. I didn't give it away, but, you know, if you think about it, you could probably come to the conclusion. Sunday Service, episode number 39 in the books. Appreciate y'all for watching. Till next time, hey, Jai Picks, we out.